take projection.
Welcome everybody to Taking On Sports. I am TD. That is Greg. Greg, how you doing, bro?
I am doing good. A little tired to pack the car up tonight, and it's kind of warm out there for here. I mean, it was still 92 in the dark, so for here, that's pretty warm. Like I was telling you, CWS times brings the biggest heat we'll see all summer, as well as a lot of rainstorms. I almost guarantee two things that'll happen during CWS here in Omaha. So.
Does it bring the humidity? Is it that like sticky southern
Mm,
heat?
Not, I mean, it gets a little humid. I mean, it's not like down. I mean, people up here be like, "Oh my God, it's so humid," but no, it's not like that.
Yeah, no, it's different. Yeah,
But it's more than I guess for being up north, it's more than what you would think it is would be. But yeah, it's not like there's what we're used to down south. But
no, yeah, it's that time of year.
it
It's
is
time to
that
it's
it
time to
is.
sweat everything you do,
Oh
and,
yeah.
and you know that dad life. Vacations of work.
Oh man. Yeah. 'Cause
Which by the way, happy Father's Day, bro,
you as well.
and happy
Yeah.
Father's Day to everybody out there.
Everybody out there listening for sure. But yeah, we're driving down to Tuscaloosa tomorrow. It's about a 14-hour
So,
trip. Two
well,
kids said, but
yeah.
we save a little money. We're taking the dogs because it's going to be unreasonable for the amount of days we're going to be gone. So it'll be
Yeah.
interesting. Two kids, two dogs, two adults, 13, 14 hours. Well, it can happen,
Woo.
right?
what you driving in?
Well, we're taking well, it's a mid-size, man. It's an Equinox, and he has a little bit of one. But
Okay, that's good.
yeah, it'll be all right. We'll be fine.
How big? How big the dogs?
Well, one's only 6 pounds, so he's little, but he'll sleep most of the way. The other one's about 25 pounds. So, I
Okay,
mean, they're
that's
not
not too
super
bad. That's
big,
not too bad.
so it's just about
Yeah,
yeah, they're all gonna know each other in the back is
they
what I'm worried about.
yeah. How do they ride? They ride good.
Yeah, I mean, we take them to Texas, which is about 8 or 9 hours from here, when we go visit my
Hmm.
parents. So yeah, I mean, it's a little bit longer, but I mean, once they get used to it, they go to sleep and stuff, and it'll be super. Of course, dogs anytime they get in the crap first, it'll be, oh my God, this is the greatest. But after about 30 minutes, I'll chill out and go to sleep for most of the time.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's what when we first got my dog, she kind of liked riding around,
Hmm.
but I think that was just like seeing the sights in the city. But
Right.
she not a big car fan, but we
Oh,
kind of
really?
figured out. I think it's like a claustrophobia thing. She don't like being in closed spaces,
Oh, that makes sense.
Cause yeah, she hated the kennel. Like she chewed.
Yeah.
Man, she used to put work on those like kennels when we tried to crate train her. Mm-mm.
Hmm. No,
Like she would you. I had
wasn't
to
having it, huh?
literally. I had to screw the kennel to the wall because she would move it.
Oh, wow.
So eventually, yeah, my wife, then my girlfriend, she was just like, let's just take her out. Whatever, we'll just put everything up. Whatever she
We'll just
chews up,
figure it
it's
out.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, we just sacrificed a couple blankets and some toilet paper, and
Yeah.
she was fine. But we're here, folks. Shouldn't be too long an episode this week. Not much to talk about. We'll start the NBA Finals again. Your Mavericks did at least avoid the sweep.
Did avoid the sleep.
Um, in
Yeah.
impressive fashion, we'll say that the
Yeah.
third biggest blowout in NBA Finals
Finals.
history.
Right.
And they came out with a purpose. At the very least, they you know won't get
They
the
avoided the
title
sweep.
clinched on their home floor. Yeah, and
Right.
avoided the sweep.
Avoided the sweep. Yeah. The main thing,
But
man, just so disappointed that we fell apart into that third and middle of the fourth in game three. Because,
mhm.
man, it'd be lovely. We had a chance to, make it 2-2. I don't know what was worse, the fact that we got down so big to them or that we made such a crazy comeback just to fall at the end of the game. I
Mhm.
don't know what's worse in those situations. And then you start getting your hope
Yeah,
up, and to get a dash again, you're like, damn it.
No, yeah, I'd rather just be blown out than
Yeah.
yeah get that
We know we
comeback.
got down 22, and I was like, well, damn, that's it. And then Kyrie started going crazy, and I was like, wait a minute. Are we about to?
Hmm.
And I went on that 22 to 1 run, and I was like, wow, we about to pull this off. And then, yeah, then Luka fouled out, and then it kind of simmered out a little bit.
So yeah, so what I want to ask you is so the online kind of discourse with the writers and all that and the TV
Mhm.
shows since Game 3 has been that the I don't want to say like the problem, but kind of the major problem with the Mavericks is Luca's his defense and his attitude toward the refs. Um, do you agree that that's kind of a hindrance for them? Like, are the refs kind of do they have it out for him? Does he need to? Do you think that that takes away from his game, or is that just something that the media kind of needed to talk about something, so that's what they picked?
Well, I mean, I think he does at times. I mean, it may be a little excessive. Um, at the same time, though, man, to get 4 fouls in 1 quarter, I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And but I mean, it's not really anything new. I mean, Luka's kind of been that's how he's kind of been his whole career. I mean, it's more highlighted now because it's the NBA Finals, but I mean, he's always had a thing for not exactly getting along with the refs, talking to him most of the game. I mean, that's nothing new. I mean, I think sometimes it takes away from him because then he gets frustrated and messes up his other parts of his game. Maybe he needs to let it go at times, but you know, some of it too is, I mean, that's just his way of showing his passion for the game. I think, he wants to win so bad, and but, you know, I think that's just Luca being Luca. I mean, he's been the same as whole career. We know he's not the greatest at defense. It slacked a little bit, during the finals, but I think that's more, Boston have a plan in place of exactly what to attack, and we need to,
Mm-hmm.
needing to adjust our schemes so that they're not going one on one. We did better with that at times in game three and looked way better with it in game four. But I mean, they had a perfect game plan to go on Luca. So, and, they,
No, no, I agree that that's kind of how he is, and it's also I think it kind of ignores the fact that pretty much every star player that for our lifetime has been hard on the refs. That's just what you
right,
do
that's
when you're.
just what you do if you're a
It's
superstar.
oh, and
Um,
yeah, because they have that competitive fire, and I mean you're
right.
always gonna question. If you don't think you fouled somebody or you think you're getting fouled and it's not getting called, you're gonna say something about it.
And, I think that sometimes too, I think that they, when these players get frustrated, they rather get frustrated at the refs than their own teammates because then, they can mess up the
Exactly,
chemistry of the team. So I
exactly.
would much rather see Luca going at a ref than Luca going at, getting into it with Kyrie or, getting into it with,
Hmm.
Derek Lively or whoever might be on the sideline. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, it's part of the game, at times it probably is a hindrance, but overall, I mean, we've gotten to this point with him being that Luca. So, I mean, maybe some things need to get fixed, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, he is who he is, and he's gotten to this point with that attitude. So, I mean, it works to a certain extent. But I think also, it's a learning process. I mean, this is, most outside of Kyrie. I mean, for most of these folks, it's their first time in the finals, of course. Luca, being the star and then the player, the franchise player. I mean, he's wanted to put everything on his back and take us to a championship. Which, your first time out. I mean, it's rough. I mean, you're just learning. I mean, the NBA Finals are different than any other
Hmm.
any other playoff series. You're so close to winning a title. And, I mean, you think of all the great players who have not won NBA titles. I mean,
Hmm.
overall, I mean, it's an elite bunch. It's only one champion every year. And, So I mean, I think it just talk. Of course, if you don't like Luka, I mean, he's one of those guys. He's one of the polarizing guys. You either love Luka or you hate Luka. There's really no in between with Luka. So I mean, if you
Yeah,
don't like Luka, you're gonna find everything. You know, he's crying again. So I mean, of course, and of course, the media, that's good subject matter. And they gotta have something to talk about. So for one of the main stars of the finals. I mean, you could go days talking about if you want to pick apart whatever you want. So I mean, plenty of content. So
yeah. Yeah, when it's a 3-0 series, like it was, like you said, they got to have something to talk about. And kind of the nature of the beast these days
right,
is you want to pick something negative as opposed to,
yeah, because I mean that's gonna
praising the Celtics. So like you said, that there should probably be more talk about the Celtics, just great game plan,
yeah,
for all the talk about Joe Mazzulla maybe not being the right coach. He's came up,
yeah, he's
with
there.
a hell of a game plan for
He really
stopping
has.
not just Luka, but Kyrie.
Yeah, and at different times they've shut him down. And then for the most part, at the biggest moments of the game. I mean, you look at the end of game 2, game 3. I mean, at the key, we had the biggest moments. I mean, we were unable to do what we needed to do. So, I mean, I think it's more about the Celtics than us per se. I mean, they're making us we're not looking as good as what we were. A lot of that has to do with that. The Celtics are just that good of a team, and they're well prepared. And from their end, they were talking about they're tired of being told, man, you guys are never going to win anything.
Hmm.
What is this? And that's crazy. The world we live in. What is this? Their third finals as a unit with Jalen, and and to think that people are like, oh, this isn't working, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
right.
third
No.
final. This doesn't work.
Yeah,
It
it's
literally, it literally been in so many Eastern Conference Finals and NBA Finals. Like most franchises would kill for
hmm
what they've done in the last 6-7 years.
yeah. We've talked about it before, but it's yeah, fans. It's not just fans, but media. It's
Yeah,
a tendency to be championship or bust, and we see
yeah.
it across all sports.
Oh yeah.
And
I
there's
mean,
you got to have that kind of perspective that
yeah.
hey, like you said it a few minutes back, but there's only one winner each season.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you
I
know
mean, and
just
you can't
because
consider.
you don't, yeah, like, yeah, if you make, that was kind of I think a good example was Donovan McNabb and the Eagles back in the day, making all those NFC title games, a couple
Yeah.
Super Bowl, or at least one Super Bowl
Yeah.
loss. People, chokers, this and that. It's like, man, you can't call a team that makes four straight conference title
NFC.
games and
Yeah, they went to NFC title game, and
yeah.
they very came down to that last series against the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you can't call them soft or chokers or something.
Because remember, at that
Hold up.
point, I mean, people thought Andy Reid was a choker. He didn't know how to win in the big game. And now look at him. I'm going on the greatest of all time list. you know,
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Yeah, now it's about, all about genius, what
how
he
how
is, and
high, how
how
high,
influential he is, and where
how
does he
high on the
rank on
best,
the
yeah,
greatest
all
ever?
time
Yeah,
list. Yeah, it's amazing.
yeah, it's
Couple
perspective,
couple different things go different for you, and man, you go from being a choke job to one of the greatest just that fast.
Yeah,
That's sports for you. That's
yeah,
why we love
exactly.
it.
It's perspective. It's exactly.
Exactly.
That's why we love it, because we're crazy. I mean, it's like on the flip side, it's like after Alabama won the national title in 2009. They put up
Yeah.
that Saban statue, and it's like, even then I was like, hold up now, like,
All right.
let's wait till he's done. I mean, obviously it's, he's
It worked
worthy of
out
a
well.
statue. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. I mean, hell, you might could put his name on the stadium.
Right.
But
But if we had just taken one, that would have been kind of weird.
yeah, yeah, but yeah. All right. real quick before we move on, do the Celtics clinch in Game 5, or do y'all force it back to Dallas?
As a fan, I would love to see it, and I've been talking trash on Facebook and saying we'll win in seven, but realistically, I would love to see it. I'm not. I wouldn't. I would think that they're gonna. I think we'll probably give them a good game, but yeah, it's hard to think that with the championship on the line, that atmosphere is gonna be ridiculous in Boston. I
Hmm.
mean, people thought it was a great atmosphere in Game One and Two, with the championship on the line, first one since '08, that atmosphere tomorrow
Yeah,
night's
it's
gonna be crazy.
yeah,
But
it's gonna be loud.
sometimes that plays well for the home away team because there's so much pressure on the Celtics to win now,
Hmm.
and so it'll be interesting. But and then it's hard. Honestly, it's hard to say that we're gonna go and get that win. I
Yeah,
mean, but it'll be. I think it's gonna be it'll be an interesting game. Yeah, I probably think the Celtics close out because man, if it gets back to if it does get back to Dallas, watch out. At that
yeah.
point,
That's the thing with the 2-2-1-1-1
yeah,
format. It's man, that's tricky when if that the underdog team can get that Game 5 win and force it back to their home floor, then all of a
yeah.
sudden it's like, ooh man, that
Then all the pressure's on Boston.
yeah chances, yeah, exactly, because you're still playing with nothing to lose. Yeah,
Yeah,
the force of Game 7 is
yeah,
real.
yeah.
But
So
yeah,
realistically, I think it'll be a good game. But I just
yeah.
we would have
I
loved to have
think
won both in
what
Dallas, but yeah, it's gonna be tough to pull that off.
yeah, what did I think I saw Jason Kidd had a quote after Game 4. It was like, we came to play, they came to celebrate.
Yeah.
He's probably not far off. He's trying to motivate his team or get in their heads. But
Oh yeah, but
yeah,
I
they
mean, when
yeah
you
the
got your
Celtics
back
probably
against a wall like that,
yeah
and
exactly
these are
yeah.
prideful guys. I mean, they didn't want to trying to get swept on their home court.
Yeah, exactly. No professional athlete in any series, not just title, but
Right.
especially the finals. But you don't want to get swept. You don't want to get punked like that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So that'll be what Game 5 coming
Game
Monday
five
night.
tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Um, real quick, staying in the NBA, Dan Hurley turned down the Laker job. We
Yeah.
talked about it last week that um, it was
Yeah.
probably bigger for UConn than it was the Lakers. So
Yeah.
huge win for UConn. Dan Hurley turns down, I'm sure, some massive money.
And just all the
Um,
all the benefits of going being a Lakers head coach. I'm sure it's
hmm
ridiculous. I mean, do
Yeah,
you pay for anything in LA once you're the Lakers coach? And while you're winning anyway?
right, exactly. Yeah.
Once the tie counts,
Um,
who knows? But yeah, I
so,
mean, it's definitely huge for. That's a big win for UConn.
mhm.
Because you'd have to think if he didn't go to the Lakers, would he ever go anywhere? I mean, realistically, if you were able to turn down the Lakers, and it wasn't the greatest situation, but considering all their unknowns right now, but if you can turn down just a name, I mean, the UConn people, you got to feel pretty good that Dan Hurley might be there forever.
A while. Yeah, I was about to
Yeah,
say you got to get excited if you're a Husky fan, because
yeah,
that has like the kind of markings of like, oh, he's going to be here for 20 years now.
yeah. Going like
Like
Coach
it'll
K
be
type
his exactly, yeah.
senior.
Um, bad news for the rest of college basketball because he's a hell
Yeah,
of a coach, and
hell of a coach.
but hey, that gives you something to strive for. Somebody to
Yeah,
beat. Looks like the Lakers interviewed JJ Redick again this weekend. I think. Um, I think I saw someone pointed out somewhere, but he is one of the rare instances, especially at least a more well known example of an athlete going from someone who was just universally hated to everyone loves JJ now, man. They like him as a
yeah,
commentator, they like as a
yeah.
podcast. Everyone's like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
let him get the job. Let's see
everybody
how he can
likes you.
do, man.
He's not a
But
dude.
man, because we
He
were in
was
school when
so
JJ was at
hated,
Duke. Ooh,
and
man.
everybody hated JJ.
They hated him. They made fun of him for the poetry. Do you remember he did that game
Yeah,
day or whatever segment? He
so
read his
funny.
poetry.
Yeah,
They hated him because he was so good at shooting free throws. Like they
and
hated everything about JJ.
and he used to flame those threes from the Coach K.
Mm. Yeah, JJ was like the first logo three dude.
Yeah, he was
He's that
step before Steph.
what he was, man. He was that first like heat check guy that would just
Yeah,
come across 2 steps across half court and just like
yeah.
fuck it and then
Whoosh.
net it. Yeah,
Yeah,
just nothing like
yeah.
nylon shit too.
He's ridiculous.
But
And
so
he's
yeah,
definitely. But it's just interesting just how many times recently we've seen like these former players who have really no coaching experience
mhm,
just come in and get a job, and we've seen it didn't work out well for Steve Nash.
mhm,
We've seen it with others. Even well, I mean, Darvin Ham, of course, had been an assistant for a long time, but I
mhm,
don't know if it didn't work out. It's just that the it didn't live up to the Lakers' expectations, and that's the thing. Is anybody ever gonna live up to the Lakers' expectations? Because I mean, there really hasn't been any consistency
mhm.
since Phil.
No, yeah,
There have
and you think
been
about
it's been a
yeah,
turnstile since.
exactly. You think about the last two really successful Lakers coaches. There were Phil Jackson and Pat Riley.
Yeah,
Two of maybe the best coaches ever. So
greatest of all time. Yeah, I mean they're on
yeah,
the mount. Could arguably on people's Mount Rushmore as the greatest coaches. And yeah,
yeah.
that's who you're always going to be compared to. I mean, of course, not. I
No,
mean, that is it's crazy.
yeah.
What do you
If you
mean? You have
yeah,
what a Phil won. Y'all say Kobe and Shaq. I mean,
uh,
two of the greatest. I mean,
well, and they had better surrounding cast too because
yeah. Oh yeah.
You got LeBron and AD. That's a hell of a duo. But
Right.
the supporting cast, I mean, Shaq and Kobe. What Derek Fisher,
Derek
Robert Ory.
Fisher, they had Robert Horry, dude. I mean, Rick Fox at times is clutch.
Hey, he played his role, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they had a lot of talented people. I mean, even when Kobe won afterward, I mean, he had Lamar Odom, before he left the
Mm-hmm.
Lakers and had his little mental breakdown. I mean, he was a heck of a player. Gasol, I mean, they had some talented pieces, and everybody, fit a specific role. So I mean, it all worked out well. Phil made it work. But yeah, but like I said, that's one of the greatest of all time. Um, I mean, the thing is, did Darvin get a bad hand? I mean, he went to the Western Conference Finals in his first
Mm-hmm.
year as the head coach. Um, then this year went to the playoffs. I mean, did anybody really think? I mean, getting swept probably not the best look there, but did anybody really think they were going to beat the Nuggets in a seven-game
No, yeah.
series? I mean, it
A,
just
a team that's so well suited to beat them
right.
too.
Yeah, I mean, they're perfectly fit to beat the. It's
Mhm.
as a playoff seven-game series is all about matchups, and it's a horrible matchup for the Lakers.
Yeah, and I think there needs to be more of a look at Rob Pelinka. The team he's built. You spend so much money on LeBron and
Right,
AD, and you don't have a lot to put around them, and they haven't made the right trades to
yeah,
put around
because I
them.
mean,
They've traded away. Yeah, like there's no shooters. There's
right,
it's
yeah, I think that's more on him than anything. I mean,
and
that's
they
the
they
guy who's gonna,
honestly well, and they've gotten lucky with guys like Austin Reeves and
yeah,
who was the other dude? Caruso, that like have kind of come out of nowhere to
right,
be really good players.
but they
So
were
yeah,
unknown.
it's
You're very unknown for
but
how they
they'll
work out.
yeah. We talked last week about how it's a bigger the decision it had more impact for UConn.
Oh yeah,
The
for sure.
Lakers will move on. They'll get
They'll find somebody,
JJ. They'll
and
get the New Orleans assistant.
yeah,
What's his name? Borrego. They'll
they'll
find their
you know,
coach,
yeah,
and
and they'll either
LeBron. Yeah, and LeBron either
right,
comes back or
yeah,
he doesn't, and that's more the big thing in there is like
Right.
who's going to be on the floor than who's coaching
Exactly.
them at this point. Yeah,
Because either they'll find success or they'll another 2 or 3 years will turn and burn and have another coaching search. I mean, that's just
exactly.
the way
Yeah,
the NBA is set up now. I mean, it's either winning championships or you're out the door.
yep. That's the nature of the beast there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, let's see. We'll stay in basketball. Kind of just random stuff at this point in the year. Not much going on.
Right.
WNBA. Just real quick, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese played again
Today,
today.
the
Angel had
flagrant
a,
foul.
a flagrant foul on Caitlin, of
Oh,
course.
as soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, we'll
Yep.
talk about this all week.
And that's
It's
what
not a
yeah
big
everyone will
deal.
talk about. Yeah, it's not a big deal. I don't care about the actual foul. My question is this would the WNBA be smart to really kind of like try to promote and hype this up as a big rivalry, kind of like a bird
Probably.
magic almost to because they're going to focus on Clark, of course, but
I mean, if they
Angel
can,
Reese deserves love too. Yeah,
oh yeah,
is this
she's a heck
and
of a
is it a
player.
real rivalry? Is this something that we're going to see for a good few years in the WNBA?
I mean, the thing though is eventually they're gonna have to become both successful teams. I mean, you can't have
Yeah,
a rivalry if you guys are in the basement. Honestly, Indiana's not that good of a team.
no, no.
Chicago's not that good either. I mean, this is why they were drafting such high players, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But Chicago had what, two in the first six picks or something, and of course, Indiana had you one. So, I mean, obviously, it's not the best of the best teams, as we know. But for the WNBA, I mean, they definitely need it. I mean, to bring in the attention to the game. Hopefully, we can start talking more about ball. Because I mean, flagrant fouls happen every day in the NBA,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody spends a whole segment or a whole episode talking about it.
Yeah.
Like,
No, yeah.
like, but hopefully, if both the franchises can get better, or if they get traded, or that's a rivalry that will really, because I mean, it's one of those rivalries that we saw twice in college, and it brought great numbers. In the national title 2 years ago, and then the Sweet 16 this past year, and then every time they played what, twice so far
Yeah.
WNBA season, and I mean, and big numbers. I have an opinion on both of them. They're both they're in that love them or hate them. You either love them or you hate them. There doesn't seem to be any in between for either either player. Um, they have their big fans, and then people that are super critical of both. But you would hope that the WNBA finds a way to promote it, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
realistically, they're going to have to win. They're going to have to become winning franchises. So, you're seeing them play in the conference finals because they're what the Eastern Conference there. So, I mean, you'd hope that they can next 2 or 3 years, have some big time playoff matchups because that's how you really build rivalries.
No, yeah, exactly. Like you said, bottom line is at the end of the day, you got to be winners. And
Yeah,
we know individually and in college,
yeah. They're I
we
mean
know
they're
those two
winners,
women were winners, but they got to bring it to their pro teams.
right?
But yeah, it'll be something that, like you said, if they're smart, WNBA will build, hype it up, use it to promote their brand,
Right.
and
As much as they
hopefully,
can. Yeah,
yeah,
hopefully.
hopefully the teams can,
Yeah, because if they never have a winning season, eventually people are just going to get over it and move on to something else. Because
mhm.
people's attention spans are terrible these days.
Yeah, uh, to say the least. Yeah. Let's see. Staying around the NBA, some broadcasting news this week. Charles Barkley announced he would retire after next season from his TV and not
Yeah.
go to any other network.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it briefly before, but definitely one of the few
Such,
bright spots on
yeah,
sports
that's
TV these days.
such a great show. Inside the NBA, I mean, it's been that way for 20 years now. I mean,
Yeah.
wow, it's crazy. But I mean, such a great show, and just the energy they bring, and they can just joke, and it's not dry. When you, I hate when like the NBA is on ESPN, honestly, because it's so dry, and they try to be funny, but they're not funny. It doesn't, it just doesn't.
It's
Uh,
forced. Yeah.
yeah. And they have some good content. I mean, as far as like just the numbers but I mean, nothing will ever be inside the NBA, and you hate to see that it's going to come to an end
hmm
because they're just such a great foursome. I mean, it's just just a perfect mix of personality with Kenny and Charles and Shaq, and then um, EJ. I mean, it's just a perfect mix. You know, it's one of those things. We love it now, but man, once it's gone, we're gonna be like, wow. We're. I think
Yeah.
then everybody's gonna realize just how amazing it really was once it's not there anymore.
Yeah. And because Ernie Johnson's probably close to retirement himself, and
Yeah,
especially once Turner loses those NBA rights, because I think they're going to NBC or something
right. And,
after next year. So
people were excited about, oh, it's going back to the NBA on NBC. But it's been so long. Like, yeah, it was cool in the '90s, but and that was because of
well, and I think what everybody remembers the theme song. That's it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The one
I
where Nick
mean,
Saban played guitar.
yeah.
If you've seen that video,
And I mean, yeah, I think everybody just has such a. But I mean, I don't exactly remember. I remember, of course, the playoffs and everything, and more of the game action. But yeah, as far as the studio people and who was calling the games, I couldn't. I mean, I was a little kid. We were kids, but I mean, I don't remember anything great. I don't know.
no, yeah, I think everybody remembers the theme song.
You know,
Sorry, that's
but
great.
yeah, someone's like, "Oh man, the NBA's going back to NBC," but I was like, "But who's going with them? Because you have to have great people to go with it. I mean, if it's on NBA's on NBC, if they don't have great talent, whether it be the in-game talent or the studio show talent or camaraderie or whoever they put in there, then what do you have?" Because honestly, I miss Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy. I thought they were
Hmm.
great.
Oh yeah, they were a good squad. Um,
And Mike was it Mike? Yeah, Mike Breen. I mean, I loved them. Like they were. That was the best. That was I guess ESPN's almost version of an ABC's version of the Inside NBA because they would joke and it was natural and it was funny and they had a good time.
but
And when they,
yeah, they were loose. It felt like they were actual friends, not
yeah,
just like
exactly,
forced together. Yeah.
exactly.
Um,
And they would sometimes go off on crazy stories, but it was good times usually. Um,
yeah. But and of course, hey, this all could change.
yeah, who knows?
Someone could throw an absurd amount of money at Charles, and he might
Yeah,
change his mind. But
exactly. Who? Yeah,
he also deserves to go do whatever the hell he wants to do too.
no, because I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be what? si- He's got to be close. He's got to be 60 some, right?
I would think at least, yeah.
I mean, he has plenty of money. Um,
61. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So I mean, I don't
yeah.
know.
But yeah, who knows? You can go. Maybe he'll take over for Bruce Pearl in Auburn.
Yeah. That'd be a
Uh,
fun.
that'd be a sight to see.
That would.
Let's see what else we got on tap. Basketball ACC SEC Challenge schedule released uh, for next season, highlighted by Alabama North Carolina rematch.
Rematch.
That big Sweet 16 matchup. That'll be a exciting one.
That'd be big
Um,
in Chapel Hill.
yeah,
Whew.
Duke and Auburn play. That'll be another matchup between two talented teams. Let's see any other interesting ones.
Some of them, I was gonna say, some of them aren't that. They weren't.
Yeah,
I didn't. Some of the matchups you're like, it's not really. Don't really grab your
there's not
attention.
a. There's kind of some one that have potential, like Texas NC State. That could be a decent,
Oh yeah, true. That
like
one.
Virginia, Florida could be okay. Uh,
Yeah. What was
you also
like?
wonder though, because it's early in December, so you really
Right,
don't know what these teams are about
they're
yet,
gonna look
too.
like, and yeah,
Yeah, and then you got looking at it, you're like, oh right, I forgot that we're crazy now. Cal and Missouri is a ACC SEC matchup.
whew, so weird.
So yeah,
So
um,
weird.
let's see. Coach Cal at Arkansas, he'll visit Miami.
Mm,
Yeah, Notre Dame, Georgia, that'd be better on the football field.
right.
Um, Syracuse, Tennessee in the Battle of the Orange. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's all right. Yeah, the two headliners are the real big.
Yeah. The North Carolina versus Alabama rivalries.
Yeah, yeah, right.
State of Alabama versus State of North Carolina. Who would ever
Yep,
thought
there you
that
go.
that'd be the headline of the?
Yeah, and that's the Auburn Duke games also played in Durham, so
Yeah.
state of Carolina gets both of those
Mm,
matchups on the same night too. Ooh, Tobacco
interesting.
Road gonna be hopping.
Yeah. Well, do we get
Um,
do we get those return games
and
next
Texas
year?
NC
Or,
State same night, and that's in Raleigh. Oh man,
man, the,
all
the
right,
the triangle is gonna be going crazy that night.
going nuts. Only Wake Forest does have to go to Texas A&M, so they got
I don't care.
o-
They're the
only
odd
one
man
that
out.
odd man out there.
Mm.
But yeah, let's see. Let's see, where can we go now? Moving, let's see, College World Series going on this weekend. Virginia is the only team that's been eliminated so far.
Been some great
And
games. The
it has
first,
been a really fun tournament so far. Yeah.
they had first time ever in CWS history, three straight games with that with walk-offs. That was crazy.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah,
Three,
even though
actually, all four first round
four,
games were
yeah,
decided by
because it was
one run.
yeah,
Yeah.
'cause they had and that Kentucky
Uh,
was crazy. They were down
mhm.
4-3 in the bottom of the ninth, and then they had the home run, and then the bottom of the tenth, another home run. That was crazy.
Yeah, Texas A&M robbing a home run to seal the game against Florida.
Hmm.
Tennessee big comeback against Florida State and
And
just a
they
slugfest.
and that was a man. That was a tough one for Florida State off that. I thought it was strike three in the ball game, and then they didn't go around, and then Tennessee took advantage of it.
Oh yeah,
Oof.
and then we had some weirdness in that A&M Florida game too.
Yeah.
There was a couple of Texas A&M fans barking at the Florida dugout and whatever they got
Supposedly
as
we're
well. Yeah, it got. Oh, go
supposedly
ahead.
making fun of, and this is according to like the Omaha police official Twitter of supposedly making fun or asking about I guess one of the bad boys that died recently. So they were saying stuff about him. I was like, wow.
Oh man, damn.
Yeah,
I ain't seen that. But the story I'd seen that's talked about is that it was the timing of it.
yeah,
There was a big close
3 out.
play at third out that
Yeah,
Florida may have been distracted by the two guys and may not have
hmm
called for a challenge when they should have, and it could have
yeah,
the
kind of
play
change.
resulted in a run that
Yeah,
ended up being the difference in the game. So
yeah.
a
And
little
that was
everything a little
yeah.
wild, a little crazy, some good baseball being played.
I mean, there's some good baseball, but
Uh,
that. But I
mhm.
mean, they changed the whole thing too, because I mean, they sat. The original start time was 6, and then like I said, we got bad weather last night, and it got pretty windy and lightning, and where they had a 4 hour 4 hour delay because that game didn't start till like 10 o'clock. So
Mhm.
it was originally a 6 o'clock start time. So when you're sitting around 3 4 hours trying to stay loose and get your mind back into the game, that can definitely be tough.
Mhm. But yeah, so yeah, that's always tough, especially in a sport like baseball.
Yeah,
There's so much standing around anyway to break your rhythm. And but yeah, so we mentioned Florida State did bounce back. They eliminated Virginia today.
yeah.
Um, Tennessee, the one seed, keeps
Tennessee
rolling.
beat
They beat
beat
North
Carolina.
Carolina.
So
Yeah,
beat
so
Florida State.
Florida State
Florida State,
and
North
North.
Carolina for the
That's another elimination game on Tuesday.
yeah.
Tomorrow or Monday, as you listen to this, you got an elimination game between NC State and Florida, and then a winners bracket with Kentucky and A&M.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun time. You ever get down to what's a place called Rocco's? Get yourself a Jello shot.
Get the job.
Mm,
I haven't, but
yeah.
it's a good
Wait,
time. But
yeah. Waiting for Alabama to get there, right? Yeah.
man, exactly. Because I'm not
Um.
gonna. Why? Yeah, I'm not gonna go support a school. Because they're
Yeah.
trying to
Right.
win the world challenge or whatever.
Yeah. Uh. Staying in college sports, the other, I guess, notable story this week. The Big 12 is exploring naming rights to like a title sponsor for their league.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it
a
was
big,
all the all state.
yeah, the
It's
All
all.
State Big 12. A lot of people up in arms about it. Oh, this college football's dead, blah, blah, blah.
I
You
mean, it's
know,
smart.
it is. It's smart. It's another
I
stream of revenue.
mean,
And what does
people
it
were
really
upset when they.
change?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, remember people were up in arms when the NBA started doing it. Now no one gives a damn. Everybody has a logo.
exactly. And how many years have we been doing with bowl games? I mean,
Yeah,
forever. From the FedEx Orange Bowl,
yeah. The Nokia
I mean,
Sugar Bowl.
Nokia Sugar Bowl. What was it before that? The USF&G Sugar Bowl. With
Yeah,
whatever. Now what is it now? The All State. It's the All State Sugar Bowl, right? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
It's
it's not that big of a deal. Who cares? I mean, it's good. I mean, it puts money into the Big 12's pocket and keeps them alive going.
yeah.
So
Yeah, you almost wish that they would have done this 10 years ago and we
yeah,
could still have normal conferences.
right,
Who cares?
exactly. But
We'll
yeah,
have,
it's the least of the concerns is how they're getting funded. Or,
yeah,
you
I
know,
don't care. Yeah, right. I
yeah,
don't care if we got the Bojangles SEC in a few
yeah,
years. I just don't. The regions SEC, whatever. Who
yeah.
cares? I don't
Who
care.
cares?
And it's not an unheard of thing. The major soccer leagues have been doing this for decades. I mean, the English Premier League, the
Yeah,
biggest league in the world for years, they were the Barclays
everybody's
Premier League. Yeah,
right,
a big
and
banking
then
institution.
every jersey is basically a branding for somebody.
Yeah, yeah, it's bigger than their logo, the
Yeah,
club crest. Yeah, so
exactly.
yeah, ideally, would you want it? No. In a perfect world, no. But
But
whatever. It's
hey, that's where we're
yeah,
at, and like, yeah, man,
yeah,
honestly, I don't want to see another conference just completely obliterate. So if that keeps them afloat, I'm
yeah,
all for
exactly.
it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? It's all it is they say it on TV and it's in the logo and that's it. It don't. That's all it affects.
Exactly.
Um, Also, as part of that, they've also been researching some private equity, I
Mm,
guess, investments. Someone with more knowledge of that kind of world would be better suited to talk about it than
right.
me.
Yeah.
But again, it's they got to stay alive because the
Yeah.
conferences don't work together, and
Yeah. Yeah. It's
you
a
know
rivalry.
exactly. It's about surviving and keeping up with the SEC and the Big Ten at this point. Um,
Yep.
like you said, I'd rather them do stuff like that than to go away and
Yeah.
uh,
Because I mean,
mhm,
everybody say, "Oh, eventually we're getting to these super conferences."
mhm.
And I'm sure down the road that's inevitable, but I don't know. It's just gonna
Yeah,
take even more away from why we love college, sports.
yeah,
To a certain extent. I mean, of course, we'll still love it, but I mean, it's just
mhm.
different. It's killing some of the rivalries, and things that people have known their whole lives. Yeah, so anything to keep it going is good, but the ACC might want to figure out what the Big 12 is doing so they don't fall off there.
Exactly. Yeah,
Because if there's anything that, because obviously the ACC has to figure out how to appease Clemson, Florida State,
yeah. The
because
UNC, all those
yeah,
schools that are looking to possibly leave. Yeah.
yeah, because of course once Clemson, we know it's about football, and once Florida
Hmm.
State and Clemson are gone, the conference doesn't even matter.
Hmm. Yeah.
So if they need to go that route and get a sponsor to get FSU their money or make it more money for the TV deal or whatever they need to do. The ACC needs to be proactive. That's the one thing that I do like. That at least the Big 12 has been proactive.
Hmm.
They didn't sit, like the Pac-12 and once USC and UCLA left. I mean, the Pac-12 was like, oh no, we're done. The Big 12. I mean, they lost two of the biggest programs possible in OU and Texas, and they uh, took as well as they could, and instead of crying about it, they just went on and expanded and did what they could to make themselves as good a conference as they could. Bringing in
Hmm.
Arizona, bringing in Utah, bringing in um, Colorado, and doing their best. Bringing in BYU and Central Florida. Maybe not the sexiest names, but programs that have had success to a certain extent in different sports. At least keep it keep a quality thing as best as you can after you lose those teams. So, the Big 12 is doing everything they can to stay relevant and stay alive. So, kudos to them for thinking outside the normal box.
Yeah. Exactly. It's survival, and good on them for
Yep.
doing what they got to do.
Right.
Let's see what else going on. The Birmingham Stallions won the inaugural
Repeat.
UFL title. Yeah, first UFL title, but
Yeah.
their third straight spring football title. Of course, they were the USFL champs back to back years.
Yep. It was impressive.
Yeah, impressive. Skip Holtz building a dynasty.
He is.
And really impressive. There's those 3 seasons. They are 32-4.
Yeah.
Three
And it's
straight
even
titles.
more
That's
impressive too now
mhm,
because I mean, of course, that first year, but well, right, they're only playing in Birmingham, so people like it's gonna be easier for them. And now that's not that that argument doesn't fly anymore. But I think the interesting thing though is what does that do for Skip Holtz? I mean, does that open up him again
mhm.
for bigger college jobs, or does the NFL ever someone from the NFL want to take a chance, or is he just it'd be interesting to see if anybody from the success he's had in Birmingham, what that does for him.
No, yeah, yeah, and you wonder, any of these players maybe going to get a look at some training camps later this
Right.
summer. Um, bring on promotion and relegation. 3 straight
Yeah.
titles. You should replace somebody. One of those teams in the NFC, AFC South, something like that.
Yeah.
Let them come in.
That'd
Give
be
the
so
Stallions a
great.
shot.
That would be so
It
great.
it it would. It's so fun to watch in European soccer and other leagues.
Yeah.
Some team that's worked its way up, getting a chance. Yeah, a lot of the times they get their asses beat
Demolished.
once they get to
Yeah.
the big leagues,
But still,
but
I
still,
mean,
it's just a
just
cool story to see, and
right. And their
just
fans, I mean, they'll remember that forever.
exactly. No, exactly. It's really fun for the fans, and that's a way. Guarantee you protect the stadium and get packed out. Then, uh,
Oh yeah, can you
when
imagine like if they Birmingham, they went
yeah,
up the Stallions went to the NFL and then the Cowboys come to town? How
exactly.
crazy would that be?
Oh man, yeah,
Or even any NFL team, but I mean, you get a big, national brand team that is gonna bring plenty of folks. I mean, how crazy would that be? Of
yeah.
course, we'll never get to there, unfortunately.
No,
But
never. Yeah, nope, nope.
but
Yeah, and
we can
that's
dream.
you can dream. Never happen because there's not a single owner that would vote for it.
No, and the team getting
No,
demoted.
nope.
Yeah.
You'd have to. There'd have to be some huge contract or money deal to where you made
Hmm.
up that loss of revenue.
Right.
Um, but yeah, but
Yeah.
just that's pretty much. I think everything I had for the sports world. Mookie Betts got hit in the
Oh
hand with a
yeah.
pitch, fractured his hand today. But they say it won't need
Oh,
surgery. So
I
lucky
can't
break
even
for Dodgers.
imagine how that.
Hmm.
Oh my God.
Right, you get hit with a, what was it, like a 98-mile-an-hour pitch right in the
You
hand. Oof.
fracture your hand. Wow.
Yeah, but not
Jeez.
season ending. So
No, that's good.
you know,
Oh wow.
um, and, it's not like the Dodgers don't have another star or
Right.
two to
Exactly. Yeah.
help them along. Yeah,
Poor
Granted,
Dodgers.
yeah, poor Dodgers, boohoo. Um, and yeah, especially especially as a Braves fan, I'm okay. We lost Acuna and Spencer Strider for
Yeah.
the year already, so
Yeah.
kiss my ass. Uh, uh, but let's see. Bryson DeChambeau, I don't even know how you say his name. Won
On the
his second
U.S.
U.S. Open today.
Uh,
Rory McIlroy did what Rory
choked.
kind of does, choked it away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the Euros going on right now. First few
Yeah.
games went on this weekend. Host Germany started off in style, 5-1 victory on Friday. Let's see. England got a win today, 1-0 over. Who the hell did they play? I was watching part of that game too. I blinked on it, but good start. Couple decent games today. There's a few blowouts to start, but a couple good games today. I completely blanked. I was even watching some of that game. I have no idea who the hell they beat today. Serbia, that's it. Man,
Yeah.
always a tough team.
Those
Let's see,
Middle East, excuse me, those Eastern European teams are always tough. The
tough.
national.
Yeah, always just
Yeah.
tough teams like those Serbias. Italy had a
Hmm.
tough one with Albania.
Hmm.
You got Croatia in there. Croatia always loves to make a deep run.
Yeah.
Um,
Always.
you got the Copa America starting soon.
Yeah.
Um, I think this week. Of course, that's here in the States.
Yeah. They're getting ready for the World Cup.
Yeah.
I know some of that Copa's coming to Kansas City. 'Cause I know Kansas City is also going to be getting the.
Mm-hmm. Getting a couple World Cup games.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's such a big thing. You got to have an NFL stadium even to be in contention for it, and just
Mm-hmm.
because, and just the magnitude of the fans that it brings. I remember when we were in '94, when they, of course, last time I was in the U.S., I know that they came to Dallas and actually played in the Cotton Bowl, the old Cotton Bowl on the State Fair.
Okay. But yeah, I think that's everything in my notes. Anything from World of Sports we missed on your side?
Mm, not that I can really think of. Um,
Yeah. Let's see. All right then. What has been done up real good for you lately?
done enough for me real good. Um, Officially since yeah, it's Monday now. Officially on vacation for the next week and a half, so that's a good thing. Um, and then also, yeah, like I said, we're going on a trip to Alabama. We love going down there. And the best thing is, it's the first time in the last 4 trips to Alabama that it's not because of a funeral. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, we end up always having a good time just because, I know some of you just can't be sad the whole time, but this is a completely happy time, so that's a big plus there. So, but I don't think I've had like more a week and a half off in a long time, so I'm looking forward to it. How about you?
Nice. Let's see. I will say it's actually something coming up, but going to Michigan this week for to work a festival. So it'd
Nice.
be nice. We talked about it off uh, before we recorded, but it'd be nice to get out of the heat, that southern heat, it's cool up there for guys like us.
Yeah,
I've worked there. I've worked there before, and they've been like, "Oh, it's a heat wave up here, and it's been like 80 degrees," and I just laugh like, "Man, this is nice." What you talking about?
yeah,
I'm gonna sleep with the windows open, get
right.
some fresh air.
You realize it was
Um,
102 in Birmingham today with the
yeah, right.
99% humidity.
Right. Yeah. At 8 o'clock in the morning. Right.
Right. It's 90,
Yeah.
95 humidity at 8:30.
Yeah. It's like break us. I have to bring a change of shirt just to go to the grocery store.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
But
yeah.
that
Yes.
was one of the
So.
funniest things my dad always said because he grew up in Galveston, Texas, of course,
Woo.
it's
Yeah.
super humid, right? So, he grew up there and didn't think about it. And he was like, I don't think I realized that, like tile tile grout was white until I went to college at TCU just because it'd be moisturized, so it was always that gray color. And then he said, and graham crack. He said graham crackers. I thought they were something just for old people because they're always kind of mushy from the moisture down there. And he said, man, I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's why. Uh, yeah. I always say people talk about like the greatest inventions ever, and people talk about penicillin and stuff like that. The cardboard box. No, it's
Yeah.
air conditioning, man. It's air conditioning.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
It
Genius.
saved time.
Whoever did that,
Yeah.
what a person.
Mm-hmm. Hope he's got the penthouse suite up
Man,
there in
wherever he's
whatever
at,
wherever
yeah,
afterlife. Yeah, right.
and wherever he wants to be, hopefully, he's a well celebrated person.
Mm-hmm. But but yeah, tying into that news, of course, I will be out of town next week, so no show next week for us. We'll come back at you, whatever the next week after that is.
We talk
Um,
about the Mavericks' greatest comeback.
there you go. I, I like the confidence. Gotta believe. It
Oh
starts with
man,
belief.
right.
Um,
Oh, that is one thing that I would. Yeah, we're telling people that pet peeve. We were trying to figure out when was the last time when it was possible for NBA Finals not to be on Father's Day. That seemed like a.
yeah, that's weird, right? No
It seems like it
major.
happens every. every year we get a night NBA Finals game, and I understand with the travel and everything, but man, come on, give dads. We wanted to watch the front. There's always joke that everything's for Mother's Day, and dads are kind of the afterthought, and we didn't even get the NBA Finals.
Yeah, right. Would have been perfect night for it, man.
Right, exactly. Not much going on, and it would have had great numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Man,
it's crazy.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
that was
that was somebody. My mom asked me. She was like, "How long does the NBA playoffs last?" I'm like, "Forever," because they take like 3 days off between every game.
right.
But yeah. So yeah, that was our news. Thanks again for listening, folks. All that good stuff. Usual. Subscribe, like, rate, tell your friends, all that good stuff. Check out alabamatake.com. Did Blaine and him? I don't know if they released that 200th episode yet. Was that this week, or is that coming up next week? I can't remember. Blaine's still writing about the Challenge All Stars. Had a article. Someone wrote one earlier this week. Who wrote that about a documentary on Hulu called Brats, about the Brat Pack. Who was that?
Yeah, we
Rachel
still.
Evans. That's it.
I'm
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we started watching that part of it the other night. It's
Oh yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. But yeah, be sure to check out alabamtech.com for all of our good podcast family. Let's see what's going on. I think Alabama Slam should be back this week. They'll
we
have an
should have
episode
some good
about
stuff to talk about after Clash of the
yeah,
Council.
yeah, no wrestling. I think Taking It Down should be back this week. I think their 200th episode coming up. But yeah, thanks again for listening. Just again, folks, no show for us next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Don't miss us
Keep
too
it
much.
done. Yeah, don't miss us too much. We'll come back with something to talk about. We'll figure it out. Like Greg said, maybe we'll talk about the greatest comeback in NBA history. Keep it done up real good out there yourselves, folks. Greg, later, bro.
Yep.